A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee. A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
Social media really got a lot of y'all portraying yourselves online in a way that you would never portray yourself in real life because you know that's not who you really are. Some women got to be very, very grateful that someone even asked them on a date. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't believe that anybody asked her on a coffee date at all. I'm trying to figure out why am I seeing so many videos of women against coffee dates. I can almost put money on it that she in particular does not get asked out on dates often. I think a lot of women get online and make videos like that because they want to brag. Oh my God, a guy actually asked me out. Let me go online and tell everybody, like, girl, if you get asked out a lot or if guys approach you a lot and you know you're used to saying no, that's not a conversation to have online. But when you're not always being approached, get online and brag like, oh my God, someone asked me on a coffee date. Girl, be happy somebody asked you out because because the comments already ripping you a new asshole. Be for real.
I want to get up off of this dating thing, but I really can't because every time I scroll, my algorithm has shifted to this conversation and I'm seeing videos by people and I'm mostly blocking people because they sound dumb as hell. And the videos that are really gagging me are the videos from the women. And I want to say that it was one video from one young woman, I blocked her. But in the video, her issue was she felt like the creator, and what I'm talking about is the black woman who came on here who talked about a man asking her on a coffee date. She declined. She filmed the video in a park somewhere, I think. She had grabbed herself a snack and whatnot. She is plus size, deeper melanated. I guess when all those you want to have those conversations. A beautiful black woman. But the world is feeling like, oh, you're fat. How dare you decide that you don't want something? And in this video that I watched from this black woman who is not positioned to uplift any system that would create a hierarchy on how your relationship to conventional beauty should dictate what type of love you deserve to have and your ability to decide that something isn't for you. She is not in a position she should not be upholding that system because it would not benefit her. And she was like, I feel like she's lying or she's pretending. Even if that's the case, how many people get on this platform and create skits and all of these things every day and nobody don't give a goddamn about it? That's one. But it just seems ridiculous for her to like make that up. Two, well, why are you coming to tell us? Why didn't you go tell the man? We tell each other all sorts of business we shouldn't tell each other on here if that's the case. That's the reason I know that you have 5 children by 4 different men. I shouldn't know that just randomly, but I do because you've been in your car telling your business. That's what we do on here. We tell each other business more than we should, but that's what we are. And also, from what I understand, she did tell him, and she had told him before that coffee dates weren't a thing to her. Well, I love a coffee date. That's awesome. Go on a coffee date. She said she don't want that. As she said, just say that you were hungry. If she was hungry, she would have went on the coffee date. And she bought her own food. She wasn't standing there, oh my God, I'm hungry. I wish somebody would have cashed at me. She was like, all the reasons, instead of y'all just saying, you fat black bitch, how dare you say no to scraps because all you deserve is scraps. And then the people who are really gagged, specifically the women, and I saw this same thing with the trans girls that got their tuck in a bunch when it came to Laverne. You're saying, if she's not accepting that, what the fuck am I accepting? What does that say about me? It says that you accepting the bottom of the barrel just so you can say that you got a nigga in your face. That's what it's saying. And that's all right. I think most people have went through a thirsty phase in their life. You a thirsty ass bitch, and a nigga could get you a 50-cent cup of black coffee and you would be excited. That's what it says. And that's all right. That's your journey. Everybody hates mirrors. Y'all all can't be, I've seen the quality of your videos. Y'all all can't be shooting from your back camera. So you have to look at yourself sometime during the day. But it activates you seeing yourself being reflected in the choices of others and how their choices and their desire to create a structure around what it means to respect them and honor them, that's activating you instead of you letting it inspire you. And these niggas ain't none. Also, sisters, if too many men get in your comments excited, you should be concerned. By God, you should be concerned.
Okay, I just came from this video where this woman was talking about how she was invited on a coffee date and she said no. There are 1,000 videos like this. People don't like coffee dates. I mean, yes, some people do, but yeah. Anyways, the men are in the comments being like, oh, you should be like grateful because you're so big. Like, oh, he saved himself. Like, you saved him because he's so big. Do you know that the women are in the comments saying the same thing? This is shocking to me. Even said in her video, she was like, I mean, if you like coffee dates, cool. I don't like coffee dates. So I've been thinking about this quite a bit afterwards. And she mentioned in her video, or I think in a later video, she mentioned how like she'd been talking to the guy for a while. He knew what she liked and didn't like. And then yet he was taking her on a coffee date. So costs and stereotypes aside about coffee dates, wouldn't you feel a little uncomfortable, you know, at least, maybe slighted, offended at most, if someone who wanted to make you feel special specifically invited you to do something that they know you don't like to do? I was saddened by how many women specifically were in her comments about her weight. It's so hard. It is like so hard to lose weight, especially if you've had like whatever type of trauma that sometimes accompanies gaining weight. It's hard to lose it. And it doesn't mean that like you can't feel love and respect in the process. The girl doesn't drink coffee. She doesn't want any coffee. So because she's overweight, she better just accept that coffee date and like it. How does that make sense?
A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's where I was. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
Social media really got a lot of y'all portraying yourselves online in a way that you would never portray yourself in real life because you know that's not who you really are. Some women got to be very, very grateful that someone even asked them on a date. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't believe that anybody asked her on a coffee date at all. I'm trying to figure out why am I seeing so many videos of women against coffee dates. I can almost put money on it that she in particular does not get asked out on dates often. I think a lot of women get online and make videos like that because they want to brag. Oh my God, a guy actually asked me out. Let me go online and tell everybody, like, girl, if you get asked out a lot or if guys approach you a lot and, you know, you're used to saying no, that's not a conversation to have online. But when you're not always being approached online and brag, like, oh my God, someone asked me on a coffee date. Girl, be happy somebody asked you out because the comments already ripping you a new asshole. Be for real.
When I saw this video, I just fucking giggled because y'all know I hate a fucking pick-me. And when I say that this bitch is a pick-me to the umpteenth fucking power in so many more fucking ways than one. But let's address this video in particular. One, who the fuck are you to tell someone what they should be willing to accept or what they should not be willing to accept based on what you deem their fucking look to be? Because let's be honest, that's what she, I mean, 4 instances in a minute and 20 something seconds, you hint towards she should be grateful that a man would even ask her on a date, or that you don't believe a man asked her on a date. Why? Because she does not fit the beauty standard? But let's be fucking clear. The only thing that I feel like you would, by societal standards, have over this young lady is because you're slimmer than her. And now let me be clear. Let me be very clear. I do not talk about women's looks on the internet. I do not engage in dialogue. Even when I'm arguing with a woman, I do not address her looks. But you went there first. You went there first. Because let's be fucking clear, you are not the beauty standard neither. So because you are not the beauty standard and you feel a way about yourself and you feel like you have had to accept the bare minimum, accept whatever a man is willing to give you because you're still fucking single. And also, guys, she's pro man. Shocker. Shocker. She's pro man. She's a male activist, anti-feminist, and she's a dark-skinned woman who hates dark-skinned women. I went to her page. She has a video talking about, colorism this, colorism that. Why is it that always, especially dark-skinned women, are you okay? You are not the beauty standard either, babe. You are accepting the bare minimum and you're still fucking single. So what's the problem? What's the problem? If that young lady does not want to go on a coffee date, because it's not even about the price. She does not want to do a fucking coffee date. If you would have taken the liberty to go to her page and watch her other videos, as I did your page, you would see that she has done things like, she went to a taco shop, the guy went to a taco shop, they met in a park and exchanged tacos. But she don't want to do a fucking coffee date. What's the problem with that? And and you know what? And the crazy part is you made it a point to be like, women who get invited on dates all the time don't come on the internet talking about how they turned down a date. That's a lie. That is a lie. There are women that I think a majority of people would consider 8, 9s, and 10s that come on this internet, come on this app all the time talking about, I'm not doing no coffee date. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I don't understand why a lot of, and I seen another video of a married woman talk about, my first date with my husband was at a coffee shop. Here's your fucking cookie. Would you like another one? There's plenty of bitches that went on fucking coffee dates and didn't get no fucking ring. There's plenty of women that went to Roof Chris, got a ring. There's plenty of women that went on luxurious fucking trips and shit. Who are y'all to tell women what they should and should not? And there's another one. Lord Jesus, she in her car. Tell what you women. Listen, keep y'all low standards, willing to take anything to yourself. And that let me shut up. Actually, no, I'm not gonna shut up because you know what? I'm tired. I'm going through season, and those of you that know, I'm tired. The woman that's talking about, and I've been married to my husband, baby, that fairy dust ring tells me everything I need to know. Because that's another fucking conversation. You're clearly willing to accept shit that I'm not. But anyway, before you get on the internet talking about how people fucking look and trying to insinuate that they should be grateful that a man offered them some fucking coffee and some have you talked to a man?
A man asked me for coffee today after working. I politely told him no, then brought myself to McAllister's where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
So here's my thing, and this is no shade to you. This is no shade to you, okay? And I've seen the comments, I've seen other people make videos about this and third and this, and even another woman, she made a video basically saying she thinks you lied about the whole thing, and then another woman made a video on her talking about these are the women that are pick-me's and this, that, and the third, right? You basically made a video saying that you declined a man for coffee, but then you decide to show that you took yourself out to eat on a date at a place that's not coffee, right? In my mind, my initial thing is, if you don't like coffee, why didn't you just tell the man, hey, I'm not really a coffee person, but we can definitely do something else if you're up to that. So to me, you not doing that just means that, 1, you didn't like the man enough to want to go on a date with him, or 2, you just wanted to come on the internet and just talk your shit on some real shit. Talk about what men again yet are doing that you just don't like. Because if a man asks me on a coffee date or something that I genuinely don't like, I'm not gonna get on the internet and be like, a man did this today and I don't like this and da 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 da. I would have had the conversation with the man and been like, you know what? I appreciate you asking me for that, but that's just not what I initially do. But maybe if you were into this, that we could probably do this instead. Or for me, honestly, I don't drink coffee like that, for real. So if a man asks me on a coffee date, exactly what I said, I would tell him, hey, I'm not really a coffee drinker, but if you're down to maybe go somewhere, maybe in between the middle that maybe has tea and coffee and some whatever else it may be, I'll be down for that. That's exactly why I don't believe a lot of women when they come on the internet and spew the type of conversations that they think they had in real life. Not saying that she lied, but it just makes it very hard to believe that these are the type of conversations that women are having in real life. Because one, why did you have to bring this to the internet? Well, about something that you didn't do with a man. Again, this is where I say a lot of you women love just coming on the internet spewing shit about men, but yet you don't want men. You don't like men. It doesn't make sense. You could have easily just left out the fact that this man asked you on a coffee date. And you could have easily just said, you know what, I took myself to McAllister's today and this is what I got underneath $25. But y'all just had to insert the fact that a man asked you on a coffee date and it didn't work for you and instead you took yourself out on a date. Why did you need to insert all that shit? That's what I just want to know. Why did you need to insert all that shit? This is when I know that some of y'all love to just come on the internet and say things because you want the external validation of other women being like, girl, as you should. Don't lower your standards. Don't do this, that, and the third. And it's very telling what type of women do this on a day-to-day basis on the internet. Sorry, but this to me just showed me that you just needed external validation from other women. That's all it is to me. You just needed external validation from other women to make it seem like, you know, oh, you didn't lower your standards, right? Oh, you didn't, like, oh, you can get a date, but you get to choose, right? Because to me, when women do this, it makes it seem like some weird shape and form in your life, you've never been chosen. And now all of a sudden, when you pay attention to other women and how they move, especially when it comes to social media, y'all are fucking bird brains. Y'all follow each and everything that another woman says on here because, again, y'all trauma bond more than you trauma bond with niggas on some real shit. So I just peeked it. I just peeked it the minute I watched the video because it just made sense on, like, you just needed to talk shit about men. It wasn't even had nothing to do about a man asking you on a coffee date. You just wanted to talk shit about men because you wanted to get that external validation yet again from other women on the internet who like to talk shit about men based off of their own trauma. And it just, listen, I peeped the whole thing. Y'all can call me a pick me, y'all can call me whatever the fuck you want, but I peeped the whole fucking thing. A lot of you women do this on a day-to-day basis when it comes on this app, when it comes to the internet in general, right? Because you could have easily just said, you know what, guys, I took myself out on a date today and I went to McAllister's and got me, you know, this little croissant and this fucking soup and this, that, and the third. But instead, you had to make sure that people knew that a man asked you out on a coffee date and it didn't work for you. But my thing is that you just took yourself out on the date. Why didn't you ask that dude to be like, hey, I'm going to McAllister's. Do you want to join?
That's what I've been wanting to do to y'all. I actually did it to a man today. I told y'all I was gonna start doing that to men who say stuff to me unsolicited. But that's not why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because I'm tired of y'all talking about coffee dates and y'all be talking about 40 days and 40 nights. And truth be told is y'all are not mad that that lady don't want to go on a coffee date. You're mad because it represents what you are willing to accept that you really don't want. Because if you really wanted that coffee date, it would not bother you that another woman did not want a coffee date. You also would not be bothered that that woman is not attractive to you and does not fit in the beauty standard, which most black people do not fit in the beauty standard at all. Okay, you don't fit in the worldwide one. But yes, we also know that beauty standards vary between black communities because in the South, what's fine in the South is not the same thing that's fine in California. What's fine in California ain't fine in New York City. Some people are universally fine, but most people fall into the average category, and we know that because of how enamored we are by people who do not, whether they be on the super ugly end of the spectrum or the super gorgeous end of the spectrum. So most of you do not have room to be talking about anybody's looks because if we catch you without your weave and your makeup and them filters, baby, you ain't put a video on here without a filter. Matter of fact, a lot of y'all talking about people looks are faceless accounts. So no ma'am. No ma'am, no ma'am, Pam. And I'm not even finna address the men because I don't want y'all over here on my page talking to me because y'all are stupid. Anyway, I expect the stupidity from men. That's what they do. But you girls, you girls. That fat phobia and y'all desire to be picked by men who don't have shit to pick you with is gonna have your ass picking cotton in their houses. Okay? Yes, sounds extreme, but that's exactly where y'all are headed. To your own prison of your own doing because you're so damn stupid you can't see the forest for the damn trees. But you know what? I'm finna go to bed because I ain't got nothing nice to say to y'all. But y'all better leave that damn girl alone because she frying y'all asses up. And I'm about to start getting mad with her and come and tag team. But if you see this baby girl, hold your standards to whatever date you like. And for you hoes who is miserable, who ain't never do nothing but go from the at names to the bedroom and you had to go to the courtroom and you didn't even know that man government name, go to hell.
A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then
I'll be completely honest. I didn't think we was going to start out like that.
brought myself to McAllister's where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25.
All you had to tell him was you wanted to go to McAllister's and get a croissant, broccoli cheddar soup, a Dr. Pepper, and something else for under $25. If you was hungry, you should just said that. You should have said, hey, maybe not the coffee, because I don't really want coffee, but I am kind of hungry, and I would like to go to McAllister's. I was going to go there regardless. If you would like to join me, that would be great. If not, I fully understand. You see how different of an approach that was, right? Instead of taking the approach you took. It's called being proactive. It's called actively trying to find a solution to something you may deem as an issue. But of course not. You wouldn't be proactive because why would you, right? It's just like, why?
Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me.
Yes, you've made that apparent earlier in the video. It's not coffee. You wanted more food. Why didn't you just say that? You could have easily just told him, hey, I don't want coffee. I'd rather have something to eat, like you typically do. Right? People eat, is what I mean. And in weeks' time, after she enjoys her $25 worth of food at McAllister's, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a video eventually talking about how men don't like to take women out on dates and what happened to all the real men and how she can't get a date. Pattern recognition. It's all starting to look the same to me. So it's almost like you can tell the future, but it's not that. It's just you just see so much of the same shit. And you're just like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. I've seen women say this very thing and then months later say something completely different. You know what?
Normally, I'm a girl's girl who supports women's rights and wrongs, but I'm about to suspend that for about a minute and match pick me energy with pick me energy. How has coffee dates worked out for you, sis? Because, see, I did the little tap and went to your profile, and the first thing I saw was that you were a mother to 4 beautiful children. And as I continued to scroll on your page, at no point did I also see you were a beautiful wife to a handsome husband.
This could all be so simple. I find it funny that this lady, Frankie 2 Cents, said all of that, and the woman above her only says she just don't believe that she been asked on any dates. The lady in the red shirt, Frankie 2 Cents, brought up the weight, brought up the beauty standard. Oh my God. Oh, Prophet Eve was right. They tell on themselves. They tell on themselves. Why? Because she didn't fit the beauty standard? Who said that? Oh my God, that is hilarious. Y'all could go back and rewatch the clip. That was so embarrassing. She did all that, call this lady out her name, went for the gusto for this lady based off of this lady allegedly talking about her looks. She was like, what's that? She didn't bring context to it. So you could assume and have some type of assumption on what you think she said, but she didn't say it. You said it, which means you told on, like, I get you tried to help, but this is a clear indication on how the sisterhood be gaslighting a lot of these women. You don't even think that woman is pretty. You don't. And I'm not saying that she ain't said it. Let me just say that you don't. I'm not gonna say she don't think the woman is pretty, because now I'm putting words in her mouth. She don't think the woman fits the beauty standard. Because y'all keep talking about this beauty standard, this beauty standard. It ain't even about a beauty standard. It's about how a person is ranked. You know, you can catch the same plus size female walking around and she look a little bit different and she a little bit more put together, and you wouldn't be able to tell her nothing. Why? Because she get asked out on a date every other day. So that's a standard of beauty. You're doing it based off of what you feel that American society, quote unquote, or whatever, which nobody brought up, because it's really the dating market. It's really the value, and women are starting to see how valuable they are, what they rank, who are they with. If the lady had tacos or whatever, she could have just said, you know, you didn't look at her page because clearly she went on a taco date, and left it at that. You didn't call this lady a B word. You didn't talk about how she's an alleged colorist based off of her opinion that a lot of other darker women have been talking, that just on and on and on, just to fit your narrative of this woman can do whatever she wants, which she can. But you brought up the weight, girl. The man in the last clip was exactly right. If she didn't want a coffee date, she should have said it. People said that she mentioned it before, but apparently she didn't make it clear. Hey, I don't know if you remember, but I don't like coffee dates. I just don't rock with the coffee. You feel me? So it would have just been that.
Women make this more complicated than what it is, but then y'all want to force feed what y'all feel like we should believe or what somebody should believe. If she don't believe that the woman really be getting coffee dates like that, that's just her opinion. She could be wrong. But in my opinion, the only person who would have the right to even come at her for the juggler like you did would be the woman that you feel she attacked. Just like the woman clapped back in the end and said, hey, I went to your page and I seen your beautiful children. You a single mom. Be quiet. She had every right to do that based off of who came for her. But you decided you needed to come save her and do whatever you needed. But anybody can pick apart anybody's beauty. You know, and you may feel like you look a little bit better enough to speak because that's how you portraying yourself. But again, that's just me having an opinion and an assumption. Right? Because you didn't say that. See how that worked? Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. I'm out.
We in a no hyena zone. Anti-hyena zone.